Hey there, Michael Sipe again, COO of the Strategic Advisor Board and owner of Sipe Coaching and Consulting, where I help executives find that work-life balance. All right, on today's episode of Empowered Leadership, we are going to be talking about energy level 2 of the 7 energy levels. As you might recall, there are 2 what we call catabolic energy levels. These are the ones where it's a negative or maybe destructive kind of energy level. And again, energy is the thoughts we think, the emotions attached to those thoughts, and the corresponding behaviors or actions we take associated with those thoughts and emotions. So how does level 2 show up in business? Well, let me give you some examples. The first is on the employment front. If you are a business, and there are many that are out there right now, they might be struggling to bring on employees. In fact, bring on qualified employees. There might be a lot of job openings there for your company because you just can't seem to fill them. Well, here's the thing about the energy behind that. Sometimes we obviously feel like we can't win, right? And so that's that level 1 kind of energy. But when we need to, instead of go into flight mode, but instead go into the fight mode of fight or flight, that fighting is a level up from that level 1 energy. And so maybe we're going to fight and win and gain employees, maybe from another company. We might even decide to steal them in some way, lure them away from our competitors so that we can have the advantage and have these employees come in and fit. Another example of how a level 2 kind of energy might show up is we're looking for ways to gain more market share. We are in a very, what seems like, competitive market space, and we're used to doing things the same way we've been doing them because they've been fairly successful for the last how many years? 10 years. And so we've gotten used to doing it that way. Well, now as we lose a little bit more and a little bit more market share, we're really starting to get ticked off. And so we might be a little more aggressive in our tactics and trying to win and fight and take customers away from our competition. So that's another example of how we might be executing a level 2 kind of energy, a fighting kind of energy. Now there's some downsides with level 2. Level 2 is great for the short haul. Maybe we just really need to buckle down. We've got a deadline due, and we've got to get a bunch of product out. And so we're going to work really hard for long hours to get to that point. Now that's great. It's a short-term burst, but it's not sustainable. And so level 2 energy is good. It gets us up above level 1 in terms of maybe getting some results, but we'll burn out quickly. Okay, the other thing too is we see this in these sort of top-down driven leadership models where maybe the business owner tells everybody how they should do it. Well, that's a very commanding, without a lot of input from our junior levels on how we could maybe be improving the business. And what happens is people don't feel like, as employees, that they're being heard or that anybody will listen to them when they make a recommendation. So what happens there is sometimes people actually get burnt out at that company and they decide to act out and either quiet quit and not perform and do that passive aggressive thing, or they decide to leave, or they write negative reviews, or they just don't contribute to the overall objectives of the company. So either from a leadership position or actually at the worker level, we can see level 2 showing up as that fighting mentality. And it might work for the short run because we need it to get a quick goal achieved, but at other times it can be a real burnout and actually drag the whole company down. So I hope those 2 examples and a few explanations of why we might want to not be at level 2 at that catabolic level are helpful for you. If you like this video, please click the like button below, and also don't forget to subscribe to the SAB channel if you haven't done so already. And if you want to learn more about energy leadership and how you can set the right example, please visit my website at sipecoaching.com, where we can give you additional information. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.